This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Osprey Farpoint 40, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So the main pack material on this thing is a 450D recycled polyester. It is pretty good at handling both dirt and water and pretty much anything else you can throw at it, and that's because it does have a DWR coating. And that coating is PFAS free, which is better for the environment, so that's awesome to see. And all of these materials are also Blue Sign approved, which means that it's sustainably sourced. So getting off on the right foot, both sustainably wise, and these materials can kind of take a beating, and if they get wet, it's not the end of the world. So overall, very happy with the materials chosen by Osprey here. So I'm gonna pop these compression straps off just so we can get a better look at these zippers real quick. Fold these over real quick. So we've got these lockable YKK zippers. I'm gonna lift the bag up so you can see them a little bit better. But they're big, beefy zippers, and you can throw a lock through there if you want to. Got these hard plastic pulls that are easy to hold onto, and there's also a little bit of paracord material there. Just very easy to grab onto, and you can also, if you want to, attach these two together. There's like little loops there, or you could stick something else on there so that they're longer. Or what I like to do is if you're at the airport and you were to check this bag, you could put like a piece of pipe cleaner on there so it's easier to see. But overall, very happy with these zippers. There's YKK throughout, but those are a good example of locking zippers. Pull that back. And so we do have various places on this pack where you can attach other gear. We've got these little a loop here, same on the other side. And then we've got some loops on the top here near the handle. Just got a hero clip stuck to one of those right now. So this is pretty modular. The larger Farpoint bag comes with a day pack. This one doesn't come with it, but you can mount it on the front or the back should you choose to want to do that. The side and top handles here are very padded. They have some aeration on the back. If you have smaller hands, these might be kind of hard to grab onto, but overall very comfortable, especially if you have to hold it for a more extended period of time. On the back side here, this whole harness system can hide away. So down here on the bottom, this kind of just rolls out. Let me pull it out real quick, and just covers it all up. You're gonna have to undo the straps up here, the load lifters, but then you can just zip this all the way around, and there's a little ID pocket here, so you can put your ID in there. So if you are using this as a packed bag and your luggage gets lost, they'll see that ID thing, they'll pull your ID out, and they'll get you your bag back. So the back panel here has what they call an airscape design. It's very firm, but it also has like some padding to it. So when you push down on it, you do get a bit of, you can push into it a little bit, and when you're wearing it, it is very comfortable. And they have these ridges here. I know you can probably kind of see like the shadows that it creates, which makes these airflow like canals that air can run through and keeps it very cool. You are going to sweat a bit, but overall very happy with this back panel and how it performs. It's got this nice mesh on top of it as well. You can adjust this harness system pretty easily. It just kind of slides up and down like this. And then once you slide it down, you can see there's a little bit of extra material here. It's almost on like a pulley system, so you can tighten it like that, and then like you don't have any extra fabric, and then this is not going to go anywhere. So very easy to adjust it to your torso length, which is nice for if someone else is wearing your backpack, or just so you can get it perfectly to fit you. These shoulder straps are pretty sturdy, but again, we have some nice padding and then aeration to keep things cool. They have a nice curve to them so that they fit nicely to your body. It might not work for everybody, but overall I was very happy with them. On the shoulder straps here, we have the sternum strap. These are, most of the hardware from this is from ITW buckles. They work really, really nicely, snappy, and don't come open when you don't want them to. Osprey almost always has whistles, so got a nice little whistle there in case you need to get someone's attention. And then we have this big, bulky hip belt on the bottom here. You can't remove it, but it is very comfortable. Got that padding and mesh as well. And there's a pocket on this side to stow your phone, but plus size phones won't fit in there. So right now I've got it on without the hip belt or the sternum strap attached. And obviously if you were walking for a long period of time, you're going to attach both of those because it does add quite a bit of comfort and really takes the weight and puts it on your hips. I'm not sure you can see that, but I'll put it on in a moment. But if you do just throw this thing on, it is fairly comfortable, especially for a 40-liter backpack while you're not wearing the hip belt and the sternum strap. So if you need to get up and go, or like your gait changes at the airport, it's pretty comfortable and you can get to point A to point B without being uncomfortable. But now let's throw these on so you can see the weight transfer. So now I do have the hip belt and the sternum strap on, and I haven't tightened them yet, but I just wanted to show you this because it does look pretty hikey, I think, and is not really for everybody, but this already does add quite a bit of comfort. And then what I like about these is because you can adjust these very easily while you're wearing it. So these have straps that come like this, and you can just kind of tighten it like that. And that really has moved the weight from my shoulders onto my hips now. You can also tighten the sternum strap very easily to kind of get your shoulder straps how you want them to be. And this feels like I'm getting a big hug right now. It's very comfortable. So getting into the secondary compartments, the first one we'll go over is hidden behind these two compression straps on the front. It is a shove-it pocket, according to Osprey, and it's just inside here. So you can throw a packable jacket inside here, really anything you might need at a moment's notice. There is a little, can't think of the word right now, but if you get water inside of here, it won't just sit in the bottom, it'll go out of this little drainage hole. That's for the word I was looking for. So that is nice. If it's raining, it'll just kind of, or you put something wet in there, it'll seep out of the bottom. So I like putting a water bottle in here because there are no water bottle pockets on the exterior of this pack. So I just slide the bottle in here like this and then run this compression strap through there to kind of hold it in place. If you have like this completely full, you can also run it vertically or horizontally, sorry, like this, and then it's kind of just stuck in there, and then you can do the same thing with this compression strap. But these compression straps do a really good job as well of kind of just pushing things down when you have this thing totally packed out. This is not completely packed out right now, so it's, I guess you can imagine what it would be like if you filled this thing completely up. I'm sure that you've overpacked before, and then you can really cinch it down. You've got these nice little strap holders or whatever you want to call it. You can even put double loop them like that to hold the strap in there. Moving on to the next secondary compartment, we have, Osprey calls this a toiletry pocket, I believe, or something to do with toiletries. So the reason it's called that is so if you have a 311 bag for while you're going through the airport and this is your carry-on, when you go through security, you just pull your toiletries out of there because you obviously need to take out the liquids. So you pull that out of there, put it in the bin, and then this can just go through. If you have electronics, you might need to take those out as well. I didn't use it for that so much because I didn't take this on a flight. It is obviously handy for that, but I like just keeping some quick use items in there. At the end of the day, it really is just a quick use pocket. So I have a foldable hat, collapsible hat, whatever you can call it, and then sunglasses in there. But something that I think is important to note is that if you fully pack this out, this shares space with the main compartment. So if you have this completely packed out, it's going to be hard to get stuff inside of here, especially if you have a lot of things in your 311. It's going to be hard to stuff that inside there. Or if you want to put your phone in there, that'll probably work because it's so thin. But even this hat from Melon is going to be kind of hard to get in there. But it's pretty small, but you run out of room pretty quickly if you have that main compartment completely stuffed full. Let me close that up real quick. And then we have the laptop compartment on the side over here. So we've got two zippers on the top here, so you can either leave it on the top or the bottom. I like to leave it on the bottom. These zippers are very sturdy and hardy, and they do have that lock as well. But I'm always so worried that while I'm wearing it, they're gonna one of them's gonna start inching down, and then my laptop's gonna fall out. So typically I don't like these side access laptop compartments because I'm worried that I'm gonna leave it open and then my laptop is gonna fall out. That obviously has never happened to me, but I have heard of that, people forgetting to close it and then their laptop falling out. But for a travel backpack, I don't mind it so much because you're not gonna be in and out here for all the time. You're not gonna be taking this to the coffee shop so much. You probably have a day pack or something else for that. So I do like this, and it has nice contrasting fabric, which we'll see when we get into the main compartment. It says it fits up to a 16-inch laptop. This is a 15-inch, and there is a ton of extra space here. So I am curious what you'd be able to fit inside of here. There's not a ton of room on this side. I guess you'd call that width-wise. So maybe you wouldn't be able to fit more than a 16-inch, but there is some extra space in here if you wanted to, if you had like a taller object you wanted to slide in there. But overall, very happy with how this laptop sleeve works. It's got lots of padding, and once we get into the main compartment, I can kind of show you where it sits on the inside so that you make sure you don't pack things that could potentially damage it on top of it. So finally, the moment that you've all been waiting for, the main compartment. So if you already commented, like, when is this guy going to get into the main compartment? It is finally time. I finally got there. So we have a clamshell opening. This thing opened, like, it goes basically around more than 75% of the pack, I would say, because these sides are obviously longer, but around 3/4 of the pack it goes around, and then you have this short side of the rectangle here. So as you can see, you can really get into the nitty-gritty of packing, organizing, and grabbing your gear when you need it. So it has quite a bit of depth. Obviously, you can see how tall the backpack is, so you can really stack gear inside of here. These packing cubes don't come with this bag, but they're from Osprey, and they match the liner perfectly, and I just thought that was kind of fun, so these are the ones I chose to use for this review video. So they match perfectly, and I've been talking about them a lot lately, but they really match nicely, and I often joke about, well, if your gear is the same color as the liner pocket, you won't be able to see it, but this is a case where it is the same color and you can still see it. So that works out. I've got a I'd call this, I guess we'll go large, and then we've got medium and small packing cube in there. Also got a packable jacket, and then a little Topo Designs pouch that we have been keeping tech inside of. So I had all of that inside of here, and there was a ton of room left over. And I used these compression straps that are on the inside, which are helpful when you really have a ton of gear to kind of cinch it down, or at least organize the gear a little bit. But we really didn't even need those, because this is almost all your 40 liters is right here. You have so much space to work with, but as you can see here, there's really no internal organization. I'm gonna move some of this out of the way. We do have this tongue or lid or whatever you wanna call it that has a kind of admin panel. It has a YKK zipper here, and you can stow things inside of here. This is a pretty big area. I like to put socks and underwear in here, just so you can kind of see what you're looking at. It's like, as far as shirts go, maybe, I guess it depends how you travel, but I like being able to see like, oh, there's the sock, I can grab it. And it's a lot easier than packing socks into a packing cube. It's just a little bit hard, especially if you have like a smaller packing cube. So I like throwing those in here, and also being able to see it is nice. But apart from that, there is no organization going on inside here at all. So you do have the, this is the laptop compartment here. It's kind of hard to show you, but it has these little doohickey toggles up here to hold it down. This is more so for when you don't have a laptop in there. Let me just undo those real quick. So when you undo those, this kind of like flips up. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not certain exactly why it does this, but you can stow stuff behind here. So if you had like a notebook, or you had some documents or something like that, a folder, you could put that back here, even if the laptop is inside here, because it just would move kind of like that. It would be more structured. You can stow those back here, put this on top of there, and then you can replace this toggle. So that way the laptop isn't gonna be moving around or jostling, and that stuff you put behind it is put in place safely. So that toggle came off. So that is something to be wary of, I suppose, but that has not happened in testing so far. But there is an ample amount of padding on this laptop compartment, but if you do have something larger or heavy or something, and you're worried about your laptop, maybe put a layer of gear first, and then put that larger item on top of it. But overall, very happy with how much I was able to fit inside of here. You really do need to use packing cubes though, because it's so easy for your gear to just get jumbled up and turn into a tornado of pants and shirts and socks and just everything inside of here. So if you use packing cubes, you can really fit a ton in here, and it's organized. And especially, I mean, I am a fairly new converter to packing cubes, and this backpack is perfect proof of why you need them. And without them, it just, like I said, it feels like a tornado. You're gonna not know where stuff is, and you're gonna spend a bunch of time organizing while you're on a trip, and you wanna enjoy your trip. So this is a perfect example for why you should use packing cubes. But overall, very happy with how this pack has performed. I think it looks nice and performs well at a fairly budget price for how big it is and what you're getting from this bag. So there you have it, the Osprey Farpoint 40. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.